Recovering from an ACL surgery is really hard. It's a really long process. It's physically painful. It's really mentally tough. And in my experience, you do a lot of it alone with your physical therapist, or like alone in the gym by yourself doing your PT exercises for the millionth time. And at least to me, it kind of felt like no one really understood how hard I was working to get back to where I was before. With the sprint program, you're working in the same room as other people who have also been through this. So like if I see somebody that I know has experienced the same injury and same recovery doing a box jump, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. And it pushes me to want to do the same box jump. And when you're doing, strengthening exercises and the person 4 feet away from you is also really sweaty, also working really hard, it makes you push harder for those last few reps versus if you're alone in the gym. It's kind of easy to be like, my knee doesn't feel great today and kind of take a back seat. But here it feels like I'm able to push myself much further physically and mentally because there's this social support aspect built in.
I've been working with patients who've had ACL surgery now for at least 15 years. And there's been a persistent need to help patients bridge the gap from their physical therapy experience to actually getting back on the field or into the gym or doing the things that they like to do. Patients struggle often to feel confident enough to do the things that they want to do or the things that they did before they had their injury and had their surgery. And there's not really a good service out there or a good opportunity for them unless they've got the means to engage like a personal trainer or, things that are pretty pricey. And so what we were hoping to do is to give them an experience that's different from their physical therapy experience, a little more challenging, a little bit more personalized, and a little bit more socially engaging in an environment where they felt upbeat and supported and positive.
So Sprint is different because it's this comprehensive program in that late stage of rehabilitation for those that have ACL reconstruction or any knee pathology in general that helps to mimic what they will be exposed to in a sports environment. So we try and take all the different components of sport, like endurance and power and strength and cognitive load and reactive challenges to help bridge that gap between what it looks like in traditional PT in a very structured environment and expose them to more of what they're going to see from a complexity level at the sports setting.
And I think my first week in this program, I felt so energized because you're working out with some other people who are going through the same thing. You're all pushing yourselves really hard. There's music playing. You feel like you have coaches. Like I felt like I was in a room training with a team, which was something that I hadn't felt in a really long time. And that really energized me. And I think that's another big benefit of this program is it kind of taps into something within you that makes you feel like a part of your community as you're going through something tough.
Everybody that's working within the program is very experienced and knowledgeable about recovery after ACL injury. And we get to know the participants. How did their injury happen? What's the course of their rehab been up to this point? What are they trying to get back to? We're also able to work with patients outside of like the actual participation of the program to understand, what is their confidence level? We do a lot of pre-testing that first session of the program, and then we do surveys after each individual session. What sort of things worked, what didn't, how did you feel? Understanding the confidence of the athlete, I think, goes a long way to determine their readiness to progress and return to sport and help them get where they need to be.
Regular PT kind of gets you to a point where you can feel secure in your day-to-day life. And then there's kind of the surgeons, like, I've done my job. The PT's like, I've done my job. You're ready to go. And oftentimes I think patients are still like, I'm not where I want to be. I don't have the confidence. Physically, I don't think I'm there. And so I think Sprint, the goal was to kind of finish those last few steps to get you ready to go back.
I've had patients that I've recommended for Sprint. So I've kind of seen them on the clinical side, and then I've seen them, participate in Sprint, and their level of motivation and encouragement and competition is different in Sprint because they're surrounded by other athletes.
And so I don't think of it as being better or not in line with physical therapy. I just think it's the next step in the process that helps people go from their initial PT experience to our program and then back out into the world to do the stuff they want to do.
We will be providing you with home exercise programs that will show you how to do the exercise. They will give you modifications, progressions throughout the 10 weeks. So we're giving you the components that you need to continue to make progress other than that once a week that you get.
So if you're interested in the program, I think it's really important that you first have a conversation with your healthcare provider and make sure that it's a good idea for you at this point in your recovery. It doesn't mean it won't be in the future, but you might be at a stage stage where physical therapy is the right fit for you right now, and that's a conversation between you and your doctor or you and your physical therapist. If your doctor and physical therapist are enthusiastic about your participating, well, you're already on our website. So you can see on the website, there's links to the registration form and interest form, and there's also links to more information about the program. But at the end of the day, if you have any questions or you want more information about the program, you can email us at sprint@virginia.edu.